Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who knew her, but most of all, by her grandmother. And because she always wore the pretty red velvet cap her grandmother made for her, everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood.
Here, my dear, take this cake and this little bottle of wine to your grandmother. She is sick and weak.
I'll be very careful, Mother. I promise.
So Little Red Riding Hood set out happily through the woods to her grandmother's house.
The woods were full of flowers, and she thought how pretty they would look for grandmother. She walked on without a care, enjoying every step of her journey. Suddenly, a great wolf appeared among the trees and watched the little girl with greedy eyes.
Good day, Little Red Riding Hood. Good day, little girl.
Good day to you, Mr. Wolf.
Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked creature the wolf was, so she was not afraid of him.
Good day, Mr. Wolf.
And where are you going, little girl?
To my grandmother's house.
Where are you going so early, Little Red Riding Hood?
To my grandmother's house, Mr. Wolf.
Why, you?
To my grandmother's. She lives deep in the forest, beyond the mill.
Oh, how kind of you. It must be a long journey.
The wolf thought to himself, "What a tender young thing! She will be a delicious morsel." Where are you going, little girl?
To my grandmother's house.
Is it far?
I'm bringing her cake and wine. She's ill and this will make her stronger.
See how pretty the flowers are? Why don't you pick some for your grandmother?
Oh, what lovely flowers!
Little Red Riding Hood thought that would be a nice thing to do, so she left the path to gather flowers.
Each time she picked one, she saw another even prettier farther on, and so she went deeper and deeper into the woods. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked at the door. Who is there?
It is your Little Red Riding.
Grandmother dear, may I come in?
Lift the latch and come in, my dear. I am too weak to get up.
The wolf lifted the latch, opened the door, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed. He threw himself upon her at once and swallowed her in one bite. Then he put on her nightclothes and her nightcap, got into her bed, and drew the curtains. Perfect disguise. She'll never suspect. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood had been running about picking flowers, and when she had gathered so many that she could carry no more, she remembered her grandmother and set out again.
She was surprised to find the door standing open, and a strange feeling came over her.
Good morning, Grandmother.
Good morning, my dear child.
But how strange grandmother looks today, she thought.
Oh, Grandmother, what big ears you have.
the better to hear you with, my child.
But grandmother, what big eyes you have.
The better to see you with, my dear.
But grandmother, what big hands you have.
All the better to hug you with, my dear. The better to hug you with, my child.
But grandmother, what big teeth you have.
The better to you with.
What big eyes you have, my dear.
The better to see you with.
And what a tasty morsel you will be. And with that, the wicked wolf swallowed Little Red Riding Hood in one bite. Having eaten both grandmother and granddaughter, the wolf lay down in the bed, fell asleep, and began to snore very loudly. The huntsman passing by heard the loud snoring and thought, "How the old woman snores! I must see if she needs help." He entered the house quietly and approached the bedroom, where he saw the wolf lying in the grandmother's bed, snoring heavily. So here is the old sinner, he thought. He has found the grandmother and the little girl. He took up his axe instead of his gun, for fear of waking the sleeping grandmother. With a few strokes of the axe, he cut open the wolf's belly. Out jumped Little Red Riding Hood and the grandmother, alive and unhurt, for the wolf had swallowed them whole.
My dear child.
They were overjoyed, and Little Red Riding Hood ran to fetch large stones to fill the wolf's belly. They filled his belly with heavy stones, so that when he woke he could not run away. When the wolf awoke, he tried to run away, but the stones were so heavy that he fell down dead at once. Then the huntsman took the wolf's skin, and the grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine Little Red Riding Hood had brought, and felt much better. And Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, "As long as I live, I will never again leave the path when my mother has forbidden it." The grandmother felt much stronger after eating the cake and drinking the wine, and Little Red Riding Hood stayed by her side, happy to see her well again. Grandmother looked at Little Red Riding Hood and spoke softly, her voice full of love and wisdom.
My dear child, you are so precious to me. Remember to always be kind and true. My dear child, promise me you will always stay on the path and never speak to strangers in the woods again.
I promise, grandmother. I will never forget what happened today.
Little Red Riding Hood returned home safely, but she was no longer the same carefree little girl who had set out that morning. When she reached home, her mother embraced her tightly, sensing something had happened.
Mother, I met a wolf in the woods.
A wolf? Oh, my dear.
A huntsman saved me.
Thank goodness you're safe.
I'm so glad to be home.
You were very brave, my child, but remember, the world has dangers, and obedience and caution can save us from them.
From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood was more careful, wiser, and always remembered the lesson she had learned the hard way. And they all lived happily ever after, with Little Red Riding Hood carrying the important lesson in her heart forever.
In the days that followed, Little Red Riding Hood stayed close to home, helping her mother and cherishing the safety of their little cottage. She often thought of the wolf and the narrow escape, and each time she felt a quiet strength growing inside her.
One day the huntsman came by to check on them, bringing berries and kind words. You were very brave that day, little one. I'm glad you're safe now. From then on, the huntsman became a welcome visitor, a protector of the family. Grandmother grew stronger day by day, and Little Red Riding Hood's visits became a source of joy for them both.
I'm so glad you're feeling better, dear.
She still loved the beauty of the forest, but now she admired it from the safety of the path she promised to follow.
Mother, I was careful in the woods. I remembered to stay on the path.
I'm very proud of you. Obedience and caution are important. Yes, they saved me. I'll always remember. The forest remained beautiful and mysterious, but Little Red Riding Hood now carried wisdom in her heart alongside her innocent spirit. And so the tale of Little Red Riding Hood teaches us, listen to those who love us, stay on the safe path, and beware of smooth words from strangers. They lived happily and wisely ever after. Time passed gently in the cottage, and Little Red Riding Hood grew a little wiser with each quiet day. She still loved the forest's beauty, but now she walked with eyes open and steps sure. She picked only what she needed, always keeping the path in sight, a small but important habit born from her adventure. The huntsman often watched from afar, glad to see the little girl had learned her lesson well. Each safe return brought a little more peace to the cottage and to her mother's heart. Her visits to grandmother became regular and joyful, always along the straight, safe path.
Grandmother, I'm here.
Come in, come in.
Grandmother, do you remember the story of the lost kitten?
Oh, yes, my dear. You were so brave to find it.
And it purred all the way home.
Such a sweet memory.
Goodbye, Grandmother. See you soon.
Goodbye, dear. Be safe.
She always left before dark, returning home under the soft light of the setting sun and rising stars.
Home felt even more precious now, a safe haven filled with love and lessons learned.
And so the little red-caped girl lived on, carrying courage, caution, and kindness in equal measure, forever changed yet forever bright. The simple joys of home became even sweeter after the frightening adventure, filling their days with warmth and laughter.
Your kneading is perfect, my dear.
She no longer dreamed of wandering deep into the woods. The edge of the trees was beauty enough. Her visits to grandmother continued, each one a small celebration of love and safety. Grandmother shared tales of long ago, teaching lessons through stories instead of danger.
She began to write down the lessons she had learned, so she would never forget them.
Each journey home reinforced the simple truth: the safest path is the one we choose to follow. She even made a little reminder for herself, a quiet promise carved in wood and heart.
A fine day for a walk, little one.
Yes, the woods are so peaceful.
Indeed.
Thank you, Huntsman.
I'm not to raise the rescuer.
Mother, I finished my letter of lessons.
Oh, my dear, let's read it together by the candlelight.
The words she wrote became a treasure, a reminder passed from heart to heart.
And so the red hood became more than clothing. It became a symbol of wisdom earned through kindness, caution, and love.
The days grew into months, and the lessons of caution blended naturally into the gentle rhythm of everyday life.
The red hood, once a symbol of innocence alone, now carried deeper meaning, wisdom earned through kindness and careful steps.
Grandmother often said the girl had become even more precious, her heart now guarded by both love and good sense. The huntsman remained a guardian and friend, his presence a quiet reassurance that goodness watches over the woods.
Every safe return home felt like a small victory, a reaffirmation of the promise she had made to herself and those she loved.
The forest's wonders remained, but she learned to enjoy them from a place of safety and respect. With every sunset, she felt gratitude for family, for lessons learned, and for the quiet strength that now lived inside her. The family grew even closer, bound by love, shared memory, and the quiet power of lessons well learned.
And so the tale reminds every listener, kindness lights the way, caution keeps us safe, and love brings us home.
And they all lived happily, wisely, and safely ever after. The end.